ẹ jẹ́ kó wà níbẹ̀ filẹ̀ jẹ́ kó wà níbẹ̀.
This is Duduspree FM, Pan-African Radio.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to today's edition of African Youth Parliament. It is always a pleasure to be on this show, and I say a very big thank you to everyone who is present here today. I say a very big thank you to Duduspree FM, the first and only truly Pan-African media house. I say a very big thank you to you for this wonderful opportunity, because without Duduspree, this opportunity would be absolutely impossible. Yeah, and to everybody who is listening to us live on the Clubhouse, I say a very big thank you. So everybody listening to us live on the radio, on Duduspree FM, I say a very big thank you. So everybody who has joined us on today's show, I say a very big thank you. And to everybody who will be listening to us and who is listening to us right now on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, I say a very big thank you. It is always a pleasure to be here, and it is you we have come for. And yes, today on African Youth Parliament, we'll be having a wonderful discussion like we always do. You know, on African Youth Parliament, we discuss things that most people avoid. We discuss everything Africa. We talk about things that can actually change the future. We're not here to just talk and talk. We also provide the right solution. We discuss, we go forth, look at it from every direction. Every thought in mind is explored. Every possible thought is explored, and we build it up so that we can know what to actually do, what to think, and how to react to in situations. So today we'll be having a very important topic. But before that, you know, our former topics, we've been having conversations about our African women in relation to marriage, in relation to childbearing, in relation to, you know, the kind of relationship they should have with men, in relation to everything marriage and African women in particular. Our African women are very wonderful people. Of course, we all know that they are the greatest women on earth. There's no woman without African woman. And yes, I will always celebrate our African women. And yes, today, I am your honorable host, Damine. I am the honorable speaker of the day. So today we are saying Africa, say no to Western education. That is what we're here to discuss today. We're here to tell you to say no to Western education. Yes, once again, I repeat, Africa, say no to Western education. That is what we're here to discuss. So we have two panelists in the house, and yes, they will tell us what they have to say about this. They will tell us what Western education is, you know, but I would just like to switch on the torch. That is saying, what is Africa? What is Western education? And if there is Western education, that means there is definitely African education. So how did Western education penetrate Africa so fast, so quick? How did it permeate all of Africa? How was African education neglected? Where is African education now? Why is Western education dominating? It is almost as if there's no African education. Oh, what is the essence of African education? And then what is the essence of Western education? What is the real deal about this? So, and that is what we're here to discuss. That is the conversation we're here to have today. So we can't say no to what we don't know. So we have to explain everything inside and out. Briefly, I would just like to say, like, you know, we go to school. These days, children wake up in the morning, they take them to school. We know of crèche, kindergarten, the nursery, primary, junior secondary, senior secondary school. You know, some even call it college. Then we go to the universities to learn about different subjects, different things, most of which, to me, in my opinion, which as the speaker of the day, I'm not allowed to hold one yet. So I won't express any opinion until we're giving a verdict. So African education, on the other hand, is not something we all know of because it is not even usually practiced. But in the day of our fathers, they had something they did. They had ways of teaching people. That is why there's a wonderful show we call Shukwa, also on Duduspreeofficial Media House. It is a show sponsored and done by Duduspreeofficial Media House. It is called Shukwa. Shukwa reminds us of how our parents taught their children. So that was in a conversation, and people were talking about children being taught, being led by their parents, like listen to your father, listen to your mother. Then I thought back, like, yeah, that was how they even taught you. Fathers would sit their sons down to train them. Mothers would take their children to the kitchen. Fathers would take their children to the farm to work. There was once a time where there was handcraft, handwork everywhere you go. But now only a handful of people who can do anything with their hand. The only thing that is even very popular is just few people who know how to sew clothes or braid hair. That is, you just say, tailor, baba, mandion. That is the only popular ones now. But there was once a time when those were not the limits. They could do anything. They could craft, they could make drums, they could make pottery, they could make anything. And then that gave the difference. So there's so much difference between African education and Western education now. Because then African education, we produced what we wanted by ourselves. There was no situation of unemployment and so on. But now, we are now dependent on certificates, on grading system, on what they think we are. Someone has to tell you you are good before you know you are good enough. Unlike before, where you can see what you can do. In Tonije, that was a system then where you could work with your hand, mind, and you could do it that skillfully. So, but well, I am just the honorable speaker. I don't have to hold an opinion yet. So, but the topic is already telling us say no to Western education. So, if we say no to Western education, then what should we say yes to? And then, what is Western education? We'd like to call our speaker. The ground is about to shake, the table is about to shake, and this table is a table we are breaking. This is the first episode of this topic, and we're going to shake the table until it breaks. Yes, no violence, please. So now we're going to call on our first speaker and our first panelist, Omo Obaoluaye. So, Omo Obaoluaye, what do you think about this? We are saying Africa, say no to Western education. Are you saying no? Or what do you want to say about this? Thank you very much, Omabalaye. The microphone is on to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable, and thank you very much, Duduspreeofficial FM, the first and only Pan African radio. Okay, I really love this topic. The moment I even saw the poster that say no to Western education, I was actually very, very, very glad. Okay, this is it. You said you asked the question that if we are to say no to Western education, what are we to say yes to? We are going to say yes to our own education, to the African education. You know what? Do you actually know that our own African education is very good and very powerful? We don't really need to learn things from the Westerners or from the white people before we know we can do it. We have a lot of talent, a lot of gifts. Just imagine, let's start from heart. Imagine our forefathers during those days. In fact, we still have many of them to the extent that they will just use wood to make someone's face, like to craft someone's face. How did they do it? Imagine that type of knowledge, that type of education. Very powerful. I was still passing somewhere, I think last week. I was going through somewhere and I saw one guy, very young guy. He was making these crafts. He had made many. It's too much. This is part of our own personal education that we don't need to learn from outsiders. It is what we need to embrace. We need to embrace this education because it is our own gift. As at even last 2 weeks, there is a friend of mine. Hope you can hear me. There's a friend of mine, an African, in fact, a Yoruba from the Yoruba tribe. He created an helicopter on his own. An helicopter that has double blades, like 2 blades. No helicopter don't have just 1 blade. That has double blades. Imagine that type of creativity. I've met many kids that created drones, ATM machines, LM, with other machines, like you see truck, different ones. We have many talents, like many education. Our forefathers are really good. They even know how to use, our own technology in the very right way. Imagine now, we even have something we call like I can call it, or according to my own word, I can call it supernatural technology, supernatural education. Just imagine now, we even have our own ways of doing protective measures, using our own knowledge, our own education, protective measures. We can say, fine, the white people created something we call bulletproof, that it will shoot you and it won't penetrate. But we also have our own, and we didn't learn it from them. But why is it that we can't just embrace this our own talent? But instead of us or instead of us embracing this our talents, our education, we will rather what? We will rather condemn them. That no, our own is bad. Our own is bad. Our own is bad. But it is that one that is good. Why is it that we can't just cherish our own stuffs? We need parents now. Parents need to put their children through. They need to let them embrace our own normal education. We have housing. A very good, okay, just take a look at this. In the olden days, when we do use grass to roof our house, how come we use grass to roof your house and rain will fall and fall and fall, and not one drop of rain won't even penetrate? Imagine that type of education. But rather, our own is just to condemn it, that because it is our own, we need to condemn it. We need to condemn and condemn and condemn and condemn. Why is it just like that? Our own form of education is very, 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 very powerful. So, but what we need to do now is we need to, our technology is too powerful, but we just need to we need to embrace it. We really need to embrace our own education, our own technology. We need to say yes to it. You understand? Instead of us just accepting the ones of other people. So let me still stop here, honorables. So thank you very much for this chance you've given to me. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mo Baluaye. It is a pleasure to have you speak. And yes, we like what you've just said, and well, we have heard your part. So now, also, I would like to see to this, there are situations whereby you will learn how to make things. In fact, you can make anything. You can be very good, very well to do, rich. But if you do not have a degree in the university, if you do not have a qualification from the Western world, like Western University, of course, Western system of education, you are not good enough. That is what people do. They want to pay, show me pali, show me certificate, show me, show me. So, but are we now saying that is no longer important? Or I don't know what Obalua is trying to say. But when we have under speaker in the house, we have under panelists in the house, and that is Ajokeade. So Ajokeade, we would like you to express your opinion on this. We're here to say, Africa, say no to Western education. But what is your take on this topic? Thank you very much, Ajokeade. Please, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, good day to everybody, and I am glad to be here today. Another time, I say good day. This is African Youth Parliament, and we are here saying it. We've been speaking since the day of the answers, the day of the massacre of the young minds at Lekki Toll Gate. Many thanks to everybody who have been with us. We will keep talking because October is staring us in the face, and we would not keep quiet. Yes, we stand out for Washington. We thank Olodumare. I guess that's why we're able to shoot the bullet across the world. Here we are today speaking about what we call Western education, but I would say westernized education. Westernized education. If we say no to Western education, we would have to say no to probably the etiquette they taught us, the ability to inquire, the current scientific method, that we have now standardized in the world of medicine. Even till tomorrow, if we still do our book, someone sent some concoction to me, and I say, okay, how do we use it? After the process is say, just drink it. And I know that one of the leaves got what we call this popular anti-malaria that we used to use before the artemether lumefantrine came. chloroquine. So, and I know that apart from the quinone, it's got some other things that could have adverse effect on the body. But my mama says, use it. Just keep drinking 1 cup in the morning, 1 cup in the afternoon, 1 cup at night. I said I won't take 3 times. I only take 2 times. It worked. But how are we going to standardize it? The knowledge of science has helped us, which came with the education. Quote me today, in the next 5 to 10 years, courses that you spend 4 years in the university to read, to study, would be done in 1 year, and you don't need to go to any institution to get your certificate. The world of AI is developing rapidly, and it's taking over the job of the teachers. AI can teach you anything. So that is also a form of Western education. Here we are, we have not even developed the 4 words education. Now we want to compete. Westernized education is my problem today, and I am saying no to it. The westernized ideology that makes you think that once you have a building, you send your children there, then you have educated your children. Foul. You have done nothing other than for you to just do what? Put your children in a cage, because your children will be regimented. They'll be regimented to learn at this time, regimented to eat at this time, and somehow they become easy to be fooled and indoctrinated. It is a hard pill to chew today, but we must take it. Westernized education is our problem. We want to dress like them. We want to eat like them. We want to talk like them. We want to train our children like them. Why don't you take that which is good from theirs and yours, make them together, and look for what is good for you? As we are going on in the parliament, the Honorable Speaker will take us through the newest route we will be taking and following. You know, the African Youth Parliament is becoming changed. Apart from just coming to talk, we'll be showcasing talent, and some other segments will be coming on board. So this is just our own way of also telling the world that it is not a must you do what they do, in as much what you are doing is not against humanity. We have been so messed up to the extent that if somebody does not have certificate, you would be feeling like the person does not measure up to you. It's your loss. We are so messed up that if somebody does not belong to your sect, you will be thinking the person is already doomed. It's your loss. We are so messed up that, you know, when somebody even have a different opinion and ideology from yours, the first thing you do is to attack people instead of looking for the good and the goodness in everything being said. Here we are today. We are no different from the sheep looking for shepherd, whereas our forefathers were lions. You know, were they were tiger, they were cheetahs, roaming the forest of the world. In quote and unquote, they were so vast that they knew when they will die. And after they even live, they are so spiritually endowed that they will go knock the door of somebody's house and say, I have left this place to the world beyond. It still happened just a few months ago. One of our grandmothers, Metro Adeosun, died in Lagos, went to the village to tell the younger sister that she has passed on. She did not use any, no calls. How does the spirit sojourn? These women have been trained. she died quite, late. These are women who have gone through trainings in our own terrain. So African education is deep. And when I say African education, I am actually talking about your own kind of education. We must say no to this Western education that teach us to be rogues, to be thieves, to be humanizers. And in fact, now people are becoming inanimate. So you can decide to be a TV, you can decide to be a camera. Can we say no to that? I say no to it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, ajokeade. In fact, yes, yes, and yes. Okay, so before we proceed, you have heard what ajokeade said. And before we proceed, before we go to the next phase, we would like to do what we call She Una No Go Wake Up. We're going to give the world a wake up call. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to jingle the bell, shake people up so that they can know that it is time to wake up. So this wake up call is by our very own ajokeade. So ajokeade is going to give us a dose of She Una No Go Wake Up. She's going to give us a dose of wake up call. So please, ajokeade.
Money. Where did they want us to see 200 plus for school fees? 25,000 naira to 200 plus for school fees. When they want to see that? Even if I'm doing work myself, I don't understand why they cannot listen to us. We don't have such amount. Most of us, our parents are not catering for us. We struggle life for ourselves. Did they want the board to drop out? I cannot do this. I don't want to drop out. I have a reason I came to school. I don't want to drop out.
And that is it. She una no go wake up. Now like this we go they go. She now like this we go they. Now like this we go they we go they cry. Now the question today, the wake up today, we say, what right does a person will be say who goes through free education? And they tell una, she una no go wake up. Which kind right person will be say go free school? What right does he have, she have, they have? All of them gather together for them to now increase school fee. For the guys go be after you even finish there, waiting day, no job, no food, no work. Na yama and katakata, shey una no go wake up. And that is why, say this kind of thing, why are we sandwiching it? Now the parliament. This is also one parliament member where we say they find mic, they find school, they find shop. Some of us, we know how we take go university comot. Shey una no go wake up. This is a segment wey say, but they use ginger you. Say no to this kind of education wey be say you will have to cry before you acquire it. Say no to this kind of education that somebody go sit down for somewhere, they increase tuition wey be say the money sef na so thief dem go use am do. Shey una no go wake up. Me, ajokeade, I don decide say I go wake up, and na him make me tell all of una say wake up. When I say somebody never understand the gbege, this na another pikin, another youth like you and I on top Afriland wey be say wan go university, but last go chop breakfast, and that breakfast na cry breakfast. After the cry matter finish, na him dey come. Somebody wan hear am again.
They should reduce it. They should reduce this fee. They should reduce this money. Where did they want us to see 200 plus for school fees? 25,000 naira to 200 plus for school fees. When they want to see that? Even if I'm doing work myself, I don't understand why they cannot listen to us. We don't have such amount. Most of us, our parents are not catering for us. We struggle life for ourselves. Did they want the board to drop out? I cannot do this. I don't want to drop out. I don't want to drop out. I have anything I came to school. I don't want to drop out. I don't want to drop out. They should reduce it. They should reduce this fee. They should reduce this money. Where did they want us to see 200?
Okay, oh, now the matter, some people just they tell me, say Ajoke, wetin you dey talk. Now the gbege be this, shey you no go wake up. Where will you see the school fees sef? Last, now to go back home. Make we go train our children. You can actually be great. You can become the best without this westernized ideology. Maybe say na so thief, then they do. I rest my mic, make I give am to this girl and honorable parliament members.
Thank you very much, Ajokeade. True. She una no go wake up. Me, I don't wake up. Oh. Thank you very much. So it is time now to go back to yarning our mind. We make me yarn our mind. So now, you see, what I would like to say is in this kind of thing now, like Ajokeade said, people are going to school spending millions, let's say some are spending hundreds of thousands, but now go not that increase school fees. With the way the school fees has been increased, we'll be spending millions from year 1 to year 5 or to year 4. So, and at the end of the day, you come out and there is no job. There is nothing to show for it. You still have to hunt for jobs tirelessly. You know, someone was doing an analysis rather about how you are going to profit from going to school. By the time you profit, the minimum wage in this country is just 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira. So if you want to profit from your education, about 30,000, it will take you over 20 years before you can get your first profit from school. School. So by the end of the day, I thought of, as soon as I graduated from school, that was when I gave it a thought. I was like, wow, this thing, they pay me, like this school I even went to, that if my father has just combined that money and given it to myself, that mine, Russia agriculture, start a business, do this, I know where I will be now. I will have been controlling a heavier amount of money. You understand? The money will be heavy right now. The money will be good. I'll be doing very fine. But in this world now, we go to school and people go to school. At the end of the day, there are no jobs. There's nothing to show for it. We keep rolling out graduates, thousands of them every single year, rolling them out. There are no jobs for them. There is nothing for them to do. They still go back and still do menial things that they could have done without going to school. They're only going to school because they want the approval of people, because they want to measure up, quote and unquote, measure up. They want to feel like, okay, we not lost school. Because when we don't go to school, people feel like, just because you didn't have Western education. But once upon a time, in our father's time, you don't have to go through that phase. You want at a good age, at a good age, you already have a good skill you are practicing. That is how the proverb. You understand? When it's time for you to have it, they give it to you. You have everything, all apportionate. Do you know, then there was building. You don't need to go to school to learn architecture. They had a way of training people to learn architecture. Do you now know now? I've been watching videos on our African architecture, how superior it is to the Western architecture. There were ways we didn't need AC, air conditioner. We didn't really even need fan, because as hot as Africa can be, there were ways that the houses were built that in the day with ordinary mud with other things and leaves. In the day, the house is cool enough. Even at night, when you need your heat, maybe when there is cold, the house would have absorbed heat in the day. In the night, then it will just release the heat into the house. So you have your warmth at night to sleep. Everything was good and working well. They have good structures then, that houses you could move, mobile houses for the nomads, those that travel a lot. They were carrying their houses with them, who are still a legend law. You carry your house. If you can't even carry the body, at least you carry the roof and go. They did it in such a way that it could be done that way. They had houses that they built then, houses that were actually resistant to any kind of weather, any kind of wind. Wind, they carry erosion. It can never happen. Do you understand? So that was how Africa did her things then. Everybody had a skills. Everybody was tangible. Everybody was useful. Everybody was contributing in a way. But now everybody has become consumers, and that is what we're always discussing on African Youth Parliament. Don't be a consumer. Don't be a consumer. You can also produce something. So, but I'm not the one here to talk, of course. So now we're still yarning the yarn, of course, like our panelists are the ones to yarn their yarn. They really want to tell us what they think now. And after that, you can have the pepper soup segment by King Phoenix, our freestyle artist for the day. So now, so King Phoenix, we still want, we'd still like to hear your opinion one more time before we go to the next segment of what you still think about this Western education. How can it be corrected, Now, we want to know, what can we do? Should they keep going to school? No matter how much we talk, should they keep going to school? Download school. We've heard now that children on primary 1, primary 2, also 20,000 every time for school fees. Like what ajokeade said, it is so crazy to see that the people who went for free education are the ones not even increasing the school fees anyhow. Because what are we going to learn in the school? Do you know what is Elewe Omo? That is what most people should actually learn. Wait, calm down, just listen. Now, if you learn this Elewe Omo skill, with the little knowledge, as the world evolves, people evolve, people want more knowledge, want something we can do. We can make it presentable, we can modernize it, we can make it wonderful, dosage, purified, wonderful in ways that it will work with your body. Beautiful Africa will always make things beautiful. Will always make things better. You can always make it in ways that one was certified. But now, if you even tell people that money skills, they look at it mean. You understand? There are people who calabash, they plant, grow calabash. There's a lot of things we can produce. How will Africa be suffering with all these schools that are joy, what are we using it for? At the end of the day, millions are outside now without jobs. Situations like this would never happen. So we are going for now Omo Obaluaye. So you can yarn is yarn. So Omo Obaluaye, it is your turn. And let's remember, as our big man, the great icon said it, in the year, which year was that going on? For 1986, yes, where Fela said it's one of the songs that our person played, our ajokeade played at the beginning of the show. She said, teacher, Fela said, teacher, no teach me nonsense. You understand? But we've been taught nonsense continuously, recycled nonsense, recycled nonsense. Imagine, I was watching a video, sorry, Omobala, you are coming in. I was watching a video of how, the kind of sharpener they used to sharpen pencil in the 1980s, they started showing me the things they use, how it evolved and changed. The kind of pen they use, we are touching low feathers, it's changed. When they were using quills, rather, it's changed, right? The kind of cars they were using there, how it was evolving, changing. But now, the same kind of classroom, don't buy anything, especially in this country. Some schools can even, like Ajokeade said, instead of struggling to be westernized, why don't we perfect our indigenous educational system? Let us perfect it where we go time practice, learn it, grow Africa, produce something. So it is on to, so it is time for Omobaloy. So after this, then we'll go to our final pepper soup. Thank you very much, Omobaloy. Please come in.
Thank you very much, Honorable host. Don't worry, it's no problem. It is still that is King Phoenix that is okay. Based on this question you has that should we just continue with the Western education? My answer is a very, 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 very big no. The answer is a very, very big no. Because don't let me lie to you. On the normal ground, the way I am like this, I am a student too. I am also a student like this, a polytechnic student. But as I am, let me tell you, I'm tired of going to school. If I say, let me just open up to you right now. Yeah, I'm tired of going to school because let's start from this. Number one thing, we go to school to learn what we know already. If it's not what we know, what we will eventually know. For example, now we went to school, they taught us in social studies, what is family. Are you trying to tell me that I won't know what is family if you don't teach me? Are you trying to tell me I won't know what is culture if you don't teach me? Many stuff. Everything they taught us, it is something we know already. I want to ask you something about mathematics. Now, some people be saying it is these white people, these Westerners that taught us mathematics. They are the ones that allow us to do calculation. I want to ask you something. Our forefathers in those days, then how do they normally calculate? How did they normally calculate? Like, what do they use? Definitely, we had maths on our own too. So me, I can say that we should not even continue with this Western education because to me it is not useful. And the ones they taught us again, there's many things they taught us that it is not even useful at all. All these ones, they taught us many things in school that like I'll be like, kill like, why are they teaching me? Why are they teaching me this? Why are they teaching me that? Because I don't need it. And after even going to the school and doing some many people we will see in Nigeria here, someone that went to study medicine, he will be doing tailor. Should we call that medical tailorism? What should we call it? Or someone that studied biology that is doing something else. Different people. Some people study computer like this, computer, and they might end up selling frozen food. So this education stuff, it's not killing. And well, to me, I just feel we're just spending money on something unnecessary. Because it is a knowledge we can gain on our own. So me, I feel we should not continue with this Western education at all. We have our own education. We can continue our own education, and we should do it on the normal way. We should do it in the normal way, the way we are meant to do it. That's how it is. So me, I don't suppose that we should continue this Western education also. So thank you very much, Honorable.
Okay, thank you very much, King Phoenix. Yeah, you have spoken well, and now I would like to hear from our other panelists so we can have the pepper soup segment. Thank you very much, Ajokeade. What do you say about this? Okay, Ajokeade, please, are you there? Pending the time, Ajokeade will come up. So, like King Phoenix has said now.
Okay, yeah, I got King Phoenix in them bits. Yeah, shout out to Dudu Spree FM, the first and only Pan-African radio. Africans, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Please wait a water, yeah, you worry just like this. I say Africans are water, you go why you just like this. Yeah, we got great and perfect things, but why don't we appreciate it? But we rather change that foreign life, we're just as part of it. Africans, calm down, blockers, let us think of it. We got hustle, we got farming, we got creativity. There's no bad side, there's no poor side, you know, low activities. But we choose the white method, but not the whole side. Where we the great black race, even have a great start. Shema Konto Shele, I want you lay you darara. Sama copy you go only go live me warara. Our goni go to dara, and the local Gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run fún wa, ó dẹ̀ fún wa ní púpọ̀. Even our technology, it has been affected. Our culture and tradition has also been affected. We just need to wake up. We need to buckle up. We need to do things in our way to make us go up. Even our good tradition, it needs to move on. We just need to know what we are doing so we will pull up. Okay, you know what, Africans? I believe you've heard me. I am not yet to rap too much. I am not yet to talk too much. I am not yet to say too much. Just to give an advice. You understand? We need to cherish ourselves. We need to know ourselves. We need to cherish ourselves and our technology as well. You understand? Thank you very much, Dudu Spree FM, the first and only Pan-African radio.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Okay, let's have. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was looking for that. I said, let me give it to you. It's hot, it's fresh, it's sweet. You can only get it right on Dudu Spree, the first and only truly Pan-African Media House. Yes, so, and then time don't they go, Oga. Shall we not go wrap up so that we'll continue next time? That's why, because we have less than 1 minute to conclude today's episode. of African Youth Parliament. So my Oga, Parliament Speaker, over
Yes.
to you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much, ajokeade. So yes, next week we will continue with this session. We can't drop the mic yet because there's still a lot to say, but we like to adjourn this because we have a lot more to give to the world. They need to wake up. We need to shake them down till they wake up. So thank you very much, ajokeade. Thank you very much, Mobalwaye. Thank you very much, King Phoenix. Thank you very much. And yes, Africa is going to wake up. Next week we'll continue on this conversation. And to everybody who is listening to us live on Dudu Spree Media House, we say a very big thank you. To everybody listening to us on the Clubhouse, we say a very big thank you. Next week on Sunday by 4 o'clock, we'll be here again. Yes, have a wonderful week. Bye.
Okay, yeah, I got King Phoenix in them bits. Yeah, shout out to Dudu Spree FM, the first and only Pan-African radio. Africans, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Please wait a water, yeah, you worry just like this. I say Africans are water, you go why you just like this. Yeah, we got great and perfect things, but why don't we appreciate it? But we rather think that's foreign like we're just a part of it. Africans, calm down, black race, let us think of it. We got hustle, we got farming, we got creativity. There's no bad side, there's no poor side in our low activities. But we choose the white method, but not the whole side. Where we the great black race, even have a great start. J'aime quand on chalet, I want you lay you darara. Sama copy you go only go live me warara. Our goni go to dara, and in lock of Gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run fún wa, ó dẹ̀ fún wa ní púpọ̀. Even our technology, it has been affected. Our culture and tradition has also been affected. We just need to wake up. We need to buckle up. We need to do things in our way to make us go up. Even our good tradition, it needs to move on. We just need to know what we are doing so we will pull up. Okay, you know what, Africans? I believe you've heard me. I am not yet to rap too much. I am not yet to talk too much. I am not yet to say too much. Just to give an advice. You understand? We need to cherish ourselves. We need to know ourselves. We need to cherish ourselves and our technology as well. You understand? Thank you very much, Dudu Spree FM, the first and only Pan-African radio.
This is Dudu Spree FM, Pan-African radio.
Ìkànnì tó ju ìkànnì lọ, ìkànnì Dudu Spree FM. Ẹ jẹ́ kó wà níbẹ̀. Filẹ̀, jẹ́ kó wà níbẹ̀.